How's it going? Need to file a police report?
File a police report?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where did it occur? In the city?
The county, I guess.
Well, if it's the county, you have to go to the sheriff's.
Well, it happened at the courthouse on the family courthouse.
Yeah, okay, that's the city.
Okay.
Take a number.
This is the only stuff I have, my documentation. Deal. Is that okay? Is it there? Everything's okay? All right, okay. All right, good. I'll look it up on the website yet. But 2 hours. And that's a long time to be down. Certainly, I don't know if there's kids in there. That would be very
Now, do I pay you my fee or I pay them? I pay to tell people their money? Have you? I bet you maybe have, huh? No, I haven't. There's the 130. Right? That'd be pretty bad. Okay. They wonder if they were pole dancing the night before? Seems like a lot of ones in one place, right? What if there's significance to that, like they're rebelling against society? I had wrote down some Connie Drive or anything. I don't. You know where that's at? That'd be wonderful, man. Thank you. Yes, I want that.
What's it called? Hey, my uncle said it's good, bro, but I'm not even
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a piece of paper I showed them for you? And I have some golf clubs in the car. You think they're still in there? They don't steal your stuff if they impound it, do they? They were too big to carry. I Ubered away, but I mean, you couldn't go carry away my golf club. I hope not to. Oh, my grown-up daughter. I know, is that not the truth? All right, ma'am, thank you so much. Merry Christmas to you. Happy holidays, whatever we're supposed to say right now. I like yours. I think it's all down. All right, take care. We're driving out of here.
Think about it.
That survey 500 heads.
At least you read the sign. I blew right past it. How's it going, man? You need this? I need to report a few crimes: perjury, fraud, conspiracy, stalking, harassment, all the above. Let's start with the main thing. We got a fraud via Sidney K Nelson. He turned in a false report to the courts. There's two witnesses to the report that he basically just lied about. He didn't disclose a conflict of interest with Annika Harrell. So sure. False report. There's also a false report against me as well. That's another issue.
Okay, is this your current address?
No, I just moved actually, but I don't want it to be part of record as of right now because I really am fearing for my life. There's some crazy people out there.
Mm-hmm. So I can't take a report without any addresses.
Okay, can you make it sealed?
Oh,
I don't want the people who are actually gonna.
the only people that would have access to this, that would be released to the public, would be if you requested a copy of the report. We would release it to you.
Say that again?
So the only way this would they would have access to it is if we released a report to you and you gave them the report.
Okay, that's fine.
So, yeah, so
I just moved, so I think it's 2557 Ferment. Let me pull it up.
so it's 2577.
2557 Ferment. I believe it's Drive. Let me pull it up real quick.
That's F-U-R or F-E-R?
It's like Fur Mint. F-U-R. Yeah, 2557 F-U-R-M-I-N-T Way, Rancho Cordova. 95670, I think.
Okay, so you said you need to do a harassment report?
No, I need to do.
I'm just trying to.
It's multifaceted. The main thing is a child abduction is what this ended up being. So it's a child abduction via fraud, perjury, and conspiracy.
Okay, and are you the father of the child?
Correct.
And who abducted the child?
Well, my ex-wife, Annika Harrell, ANIKAHARRAL.
a court order saying that the child just supposed to be with you?
No.
So yeah, there's no court order. So but you have equal.
Well, there's a court order. Well, let's back up. Let's start at the beginning. Annika Harrell and Sidney Keith Nelson worked together.
Okay.
Okay? Annika Harrell and her lawyer, Christine Cummings, recommended Sidney Keith Nelson as a child evaluator for the 730 evaluation. Okay? They did not disclose that they worked together. Okay? I've got records of both of them denying they worked together. Okay? Now, he wrote an erroneous report, the fraudulent report, turned it into the courts and making it perjury. Okay? So now he did the recommendation for 100% custody to my ex-wife, Annika Harrell. Okay? So now I'm on supervised visitation with no grounds. And even in the report it says there's absolutely no abuse. I've talked to 4 different lawyers. They say even with all the lies they both put in there, there's still no grounds for supervised visitation. So right now she's denying supervised visitation. So that's child abduction on itself. But the fraudulent report, perjury, and conspiracy is the main issue we're dealing with here.
Okay, so for the child abduction, for that portion of this, I can give you some paperwork because there's a specific unit that handles all of that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Okay, so let me go make a copy of that for you.
That's fine. We can deal with the rest then. We're here.
They look at the forecast over here for Christmas Day. 72 in Raleigh, okay. 61 in New York, 59 in Boston, 60 in Louisville, 42 in Chicago. Temperatures up to 35 degrees warmer than usual. Forecast.
Okay, so this is the schedule of the police department phone number and address. Go ahead and call them and let them know that you left it at that store and they can take a report from you. And give them the address of where you were when it happened and they'll make a report. I don't know what counts as different. They might be able to report. If they can't, then they can find online.
This is kind of a moot point, to be honest with you. Well, okay. Yeah, that's probably a moot point. We need to focus on the fraud, perjury, and conspiracy.
Okay, and so let's focus on the perjury. So how do you know there was a false report?
How do I know the 730 evaluation is fraud?
I'm not familiar with 730.
Oh, it's a document that's put into court, so it doesn't really matter what it is. Because on his resume it says he worked at the same location she worked at, 2 of them. There's also a cover-up in place as well. So.
Well, how do you know there's a cover-up in place?
Because I did my own investigation. So I called Sierra Vista Hospital and talked to Alicia, and I asked her, do you know Sidney Keith Nelson? And my wife worked there as well. She was a director. And she's like, of course I know who he is. And then I'm like, great, we'll just transfer me to HR and I'm going to, get to the bottom of this. They transfer me to HR and I leave a message because no one picked up. So I called back to get Alicia's last name. And then Alicia's like, well, I thought you said Nielsen. So she's trying to make me believe that Sidney Keith Nielsen worked there.
Okay, I see. And then, can you explain the fraud to me?
Sure, it's a fraudulent report.
Okay, well, that'd be kind of...
I was defrauded of my rights to my child.
Okay. And then the conspiracy is the 2 of them kind of working together, pushing all this under.
Precisely.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I understood all the different aspects of this. And the way all these go based off of would be based off your home address. And that jurisdiction would be the Sacramento Sheriff's Department. So you have to go down to the Sheriff's Department.
The crime happened at the courthouse. That's where it happened. So that's City of Sacramento. I've already done the sheriff's thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just verify with my supervisor then.
Well, we have some issues here because I've got some issues with some of the police officers. I'm not interested in getting into that, but if need be, I'll bring that evidence forward. I'm just trying to get this report done, and it seems like I'm getting a lot of hiccups.
Okay, yeah, just hold on.
There's some powerful players here.
The search is picking up the so-called affluent teenagers. A few years ago, he killed 4 people and never was in jail. His lawyer claimed getting a right from wrong. This is the rich. The lawyers accused him of judge. Now investigators say the kid is on the run. Not only that, they say his mother is most likely helping him. They say she and he are on the run. And there's a man who
Hi.
Hello.
Okay, so, just trying to understand the situation a little bit better. So there is a court order in place.
It's a fraudulent court order.
Okay, but the court order states that you have visitation on certain days as of now?
Correct.
Okay, so when this order happened, did you go to court and speak with the judge then?
I was in court. We were setting the trial date, and I talked to the judge.
Okay, so at that time the judge told you this is the order, these are the visitation days?
Correct.
And that was all clear then? Okay.
Correct.
So that all happened, but the whole time it was fraudulent?
Correct.
Okay, so did you not tell that to the judge?
I did.
You did?
Yes.
What did the judge tell you?
He said, well, okay. I told him I just need a couple subpoenas and depositions to get it squared away. And it gets deeper after that. So I tried to do that through my lawyer. And then my lawyer obstructed discovery for 22 days. I found out he was working with the other side. I'm not kidding you.
Your attorney was?
Yes.
Okay.
So
what's the issue now? On the days and times you're supposed to have your child?
no. We're going way too far ahead. I want to go back to the fraudulent report. That's the main issue. So we've got perjury here, fraud and conspiracy. Okay, so I want that investigated. It was done within the city of Sacramento. These people are trying to bury me. I'm done. I've done everything I can. I literally can tell you I've had zero due process. My daughter's been taken away from me. And they even said in the report there's absolutely no abuse whatsoever, because there hasn't been. So my rights have been trampled so bad. There's so many co-conspirators in this.
So the issue here, you've got a lot of things going on. So
Yes.
there's perjury, you said there's a fraudulent court order. The other
Harassment.
okay, and the other issue is the fact that you don't have your child.
I have not seen my child in months.
Okay.
She's denying
Do you have
visitation.
that court order with you?
I can email it to you if need be.
Okay, so that's something that you definitely want to go down to the DA's office and talk to them about. They have investigators there that handle this. So you want
Okay.
to talk to them about that.
That's a separate issue. Yeah.
Okay.
I need to file a police report today for the fraudulent document that was turned in and get that started.
Okay, so where is that fraudulent document?
It's a 730 evaluation that's on record with the court.
Okay.
I can supply any and everything needed to the
So
investigator.
what you'd want to do is talk to the investigators directly, so you can call our investigations unit and tell them what's going on, and they can advise you from there. Our records department here, we're not police officers, so we can only take certain types of reports.
What kind of reports can you take? Can you take a harassment report?
We can take a harassment report.
Let's do that then.
Okay, we can do that, but the other ones, I would say, call them directly. deal
Is that
with
what that line is right over there?
What's that, sorry?
Is that what that phone is over there? It says.
The black phone, you can pick that up and see if you can get a hold of a detective.
Okay, so I can't do a police report here for the fraud or the perjury.
No, because we can't verify that.
Well, that's what
That's
that's what
something
an
the detective
investigator
would have to
needs.
do.
Okay.
That's something that they'd actually have to see that in writing. That's something they can do.
Okay.
We can't do a report, especially if we don't have any evidence of that either. So they would have to look at that. And
So if I bring the evidence, then you can do a report.
well, they need to look at that. We can't verify any of that.
Okay.
If it's fraudulent or not. But we can take a harassment report.
Okay,
if
so-
your concern too, at the same time, is that you don't have your child and you're supposed to have your child.
Yeah.
And that other person's not following the court order.
That is correct as well.
You would deal with that with the DA's office.
Okay. I've been to the DA's office. Is the problem?
Have you been to the child abduction unit?
No.
Okay.
They did not refer me to the child abduction
Okay.
unit.
So today we can give that information to you. You can go there about that situation.
Okay.
And then you can file a harassment report if you want to.
So you guys, I'm just really confused because I've got the runaround from sheriffs, DAs, FBI, everything. I mean, I'm done.
Yeah.
So
Well, it sounds like there's a lot going on.
There's a heck of a
So
lot going
It's
on.
kind of really hard to handle it in one place, unfortunately.
that's fine,
So
but I need to be able to take care of what I can
Right,
here. So
exactly.
I can only do the fraud here, is what you're telling me,
you can
or not
do
the fraud, the
report
harassment.
here.
Okay.
You can handle, them violating the court order with the DA child abduction unit, and then you.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry to be. I've been through a lot.
Okay.
Now, I'm not worried about that portion. That's double child abduction, if you ask me, because the first child abduction happened through the fraudulent perjury and conspiracy.
Well, we can, whatever you want to do, we can tell you how you can do it. If
Okay.
you're not worried about that portion, then we're not going to send you over there to do that. If you're
Well,
not
will they?
worried about that.
Who's going to take that report then?
The DA's office has investigators there, and what they do is they need to enforce that order. If the other person's not following it, then they enforce it by going
Okay.
to find that child and
What-
making sure they enforce that order.
Forgive me. Who's going to enforce the perjury and the fraud and the conspiracy, though?
That would be our detective division.
Okay.
They're going to have to look at that and see if that's a report they can take. And once they do, it eventually gets turned over to the DA's office.
Okay. What do you mean it's a report they can take?
Well, I don't know. I don't know the situation. We can't verify any of those documents are fraudulent. We don't have the training here. We're not
Sure.
police officers.
No, I understand that.
So they would have to look at it. You can speak with them, see how they want to handle it at that point. The only thing that we can take here is the harassment report.
Okay. Is stalking a crime too?
Stalking is a crime. You'd have to report that with an officer. It's a serious crime. So
Yeah.
there's certain things that they need to look at, certain elements of the crime. So if those elements are there,
Yeah.
they determine whether or not that's a stalking report, and then an officer would have to take that.
Okay.
Anything that we take here at our public counter, we also do online. So whatever's more convenient for you, we can take the harassment here. You can go home and
Let's do it here. What's your name again?
Alyssa.
Alyssa, thank you so much. All right. So you ready for the?
I am. So looks like you have some. Is it done through the phone, or what kind of harassment is this?
Well, this one is kind of like an identity theft. What happened is somebody created a chemistry.com account under my email and birthday. This I believe to be my ex-wife, Annika Harrell.
Okay, so it's done online, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any other forms of harassment, or is this the main one?
No, I have plenty of other information.
Okay, good. So based off of harassment, all those are based off of your home address. And as I told you earlier, that comes back in the sheriff's department jurisdiction. That's why I want to know if there's any other type of harassment.
It doesn't base on her home address?
They're based off of your home address. That's how.
The crime was committed at her home,
Correct.
I'm guessing.
But we don't know that 100% for sure. So we go based off.
Well, I know 100% somebody did an account and put inappropriate material. This was also put in on a trial that I wasn't even aware of, that my ex-wife and them went to on this date here. So I believe this is also perjury.
Okay. Well, honestly, it's standard across the board. It goes based off of, for harassment reports, based off of the victim's home address if it's done online or over the phone. Unless it's done physically in person at a location, then we can use that location. This instance, it's online.
Here's where I'm confused. I went and talked to the Sac Sheriff downtown, whatever street it is, 9th Street or whatever. He told me to come here.
for specifically the harassment report.
For the fraud, for everything.
Okay, well, specifically for the fraud and all that, as my coworker told you, that's going to be with the detective division.
Okay.
The harassment one, those ones are specifically done based off of, if it's online, based off of the victim's home address. And your home address, which you put is the Furman Way, would be Sacramento County jurisdiction, which is coming up in my computer.
Okay, so now I'm just confused because he's told me to come here. Now I'm going to go bounce back to them. So is there any way you can call them? Because I'm sick of kind of being the middleman, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. I'm getting bounced around like a pinball and no one's taking my report.
Yeah, I mean, I could put it down on our card here, saying that it's
Okay, so now if I pick up this phone over here, this is for the investigation unit, and that might possibly actually give me some help and some justice?
The black phone, you have to make sure you pick up the black phone. That rings directly back to the detective division.
Okay. Is there any way I can speak to a detective in person?
If they're back there, a lot of times the detectives are out in the field and they're
Okay.
not even housed at this specific location.
Okay, where can I go to sit in front of a detective?
So the only way to get in contact with a detective is through that phone, and if they're back there, they can come out and talk with you, or they set up a meeting with you.
Can you see if one's back there now?
Well, you'd have to call that phone and ask, because they have that phone rings back to I think it's their clerk that works back there, and he or she's in contact with all the detectives in the back building, and she would tell you which detectives are here. She would know the appropriate one to refer you to.
Okay, so you can't get me a detective right now, is what you're saying. The clerk has to do it.
Yeah, you have to call the
Okay.
phone number.
So if I have harassing text messages, is that something you do here?
If your address comes back to the Sacramento Police Department's jurisdiction.
Okay, so this is contrary to what the other police officer told me then.
Well, that, based off of my understanding of the whole situation, he told you to come over here because the vast majority of all the stuff falls within the police department. So I don't know if you overlooked the harassment part.
Okay.
He even asked you what your address was for the harassment.
No, he knew where I lived.
Okay.
Yeah. See, that's where I'm having issues. I'm getting bounced around like a pinball. Okay, so I'm going to get on the phone with an investigator now, and hopefully I can get that resolved.
Correct.
It's all connected is the problem. It's all part of the conspiracy that derives right back to the original fraudulent document. So at this point, you can't actually do anything for me, is what you're saying. Even though I was referred here by two different cops and the dispatcher.
You're here for essentially the detective division, which sounds like
Is that what it is?
the bulk
Okay.
material or part of the issues or situations.
Okay. And forgive my abrasiveness. You don't know what I've been through, man. And what was your name again?
My name's Ken.
Ken, do you have a card?
Yeah, I could write. Oh, I don't have a specific card back.
They don't even give you cards? Man.
It's my name and badge number.
Thank you, sir. Oh, you're a police officer?
Oh no, police record specialist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I can pull records here, like an arrest record of a certain individual? Is that correct?
Yeah. So the only records you'd be able to get would be records that you're listed as victims. Any other way would have to meet through subpoena.
Really? Did that change like a few years back, or how long has it been like that?
No, it's
I thought arrest records were public information. No?
arrest records. You definitely have to have a subpoena for.
Not even a freedom of information request?
The arrestee has to have a subpoena to get his own.
No kidding. All right. Perfect. Thank you, sir.
Service number 540.
Hi, my name is Louis Hoff. Phone number is 916-705-8835. 916-705-8835. I need to file a report. Please give me a call back at your earliest convenience. Yeah, I need to file a police report. It's fraud, perjury, child abduction, various other aspects to it as well. Okay, what's the number for the dispatch for the police? What? Well, it's various different aspects. The main thing is fraud, perjury, and conspiracy. Okay, where is the public counter? Is there one on Freeport? Is that right? Okay. Okay, well, I'm standing right here in the Freeport Police Department. Refer me to this line. That is correct. They said to call you guys. You want me to get the gentleman for you? The crime happened in city of Sacramento. Yeah, the county family courthouse. I'm not really following you. Report perjury. A document was turned in that was fraudulent. That he perjured himself, and it resulted in a restriction on my rights with due process. That's what ended up in the child abduction. It's not, I don't know if it's forged, I'm not familiar with the legal terminology, but it's a fraudulent document was turned in that resulted in child abduction. But the main focus I'm looking at is the fraud and the perjury and the conspiracy. I can give you the gentleman's name. I have it right here. His name is K. Cook, badge number 6214. I'm not sure if forged is the term I'm looking for. It's a 730 evaluation. It's essentially the recommendation based on a clinical psychologist. The clinical psychologist worked with Annika Harrell, which was the petitioner in this case, and did not disclose that. And I have evidence that the document he turned in is blatantly false, basically working towards Annika's goals. How is it false? Is that what your question? Oh, that's really simple. He actually lied about testimonies of some of the witnesses he interviewed. He lied about pretty much everything I said. And on the face of the document, you can see that it's blatantly biased towards Annika Harrell. Again, he worked with her, did not disclose it, and then did the false document, which resulted in the abduction, essentially. So we've got a multifaceted crime here. There's probably, I won't even mention the number of accessories after the fact because it's getting beyond ridiculous. No, this is something that needs an investigator. This is criminal, not civil. False would be turning in something that he believes to be a lie. Well, it is a lie that he put it in to be as truth. Oh no! This is I have the people you can just talk to, and it's a lie. I've already done my own investigation because no one else is helping me. Okay. I'm really confused here because he's saying they only take reports of harassment here. So now I'm getting bounced around. I already went to the Sac Sheriffs. They referred me here. Okay? And then, now here they're saying, refer me to you. Now you're referring me back. Yes, I need a detective. Oh, I see. Okay. So basically he lied to me is what it sounds like. Okay. Well, so now I need to get another ticket and go talk to this guy again? Or how about I just go grab him? Okay. So I've hit a brick wall, is what you're saying, that I can't get justice for this. Okay. So investigations only work if there's a report. Okay. But I can't make a report because they won't take one. And can you give me the police dispatch then, so I can get a police officer out here so I can make a report? Well, he said he's not a police officer, so he can't take that report. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's so I can make a report online for perjury, fraud. And, okay, just the fraud portion. Okay. I'm just really confused why I can't just talk to a police officer and get this squared away. If they're willing to. Isn't there a statutory duty to take a report when there's a crime been committed? Okay, what type of report will this send an officer for? You have to forgive me, I don't understand all this works, and it seems to be I'm hitting dead ends, and I have a crime that's very easily solvable with the correct investigation. Okay, so that's typically what happens when a police officer is dispatched to file a report, correct? Now this is a crime in progress because the document is still a matter of record at the courthouse. He has not retracted it, which he should have. So that is a crime in progress as far as I'm concerned. So now, what was your name again? Liz? Do you have a badge number? Okay. And you work at the investigation, are you a clerk or? Okay. All right, so I'm just really confused. Okay. I will be talking to this gentleman again, and I'll be talking to supervisors if needed. But thank you for your help. You've been very patient with my impatience. I appreciate that. Bye. Cook, I need to talk to you when you're done.
they moved it just in time to the public, was supposed to be like 300 feet of the fire against the doctor's Wednesday. The walk was about 3 hours later. The national is the seventh straight walk after not had to make it. And again, once dismissed as a passing fad, now celebrating Century Street, that's still going.
Nobody's hurt, but they will still be paid. It comes when your insurance company says they'll only pay 3/4 of what it takes to replace it. What are you supposed to do, buy 3/4 of a car? Now, if you had living mutual car replacement, you can do the first time. I guess they don't
A holiday home?
How you doing, sir? What is a correctable violation? What does that mean?
If it's a violation, that be corrected, like a tail light out or a
Oh,
light out.
okay. That kind of the small stuff, like okay.
Hopefully, it wouldn't be a violation.
Okay. Me again. You said you're the man. They can't even do anything without a police report, so I'm really confused. Why was I sent to investigations if I don't have a police report to get this squared away?
Well, my partner explained to you because they needed to verify all the...
Okay, so she said I can't, she will not help me unless I have a police report. You're saying I need to get an investigation before I get a police report?
Hold on 1 second, let me figure out what's going on.
I need your supervisor here again as well.
On this day in 1913, a newspaper published the first Walkman puzzle. The editor of the New York World came up with the idea. It's a bit different than the puzzles we see today, but it was a huge hit. Today, crossword puzzles are as popular as ever after readers first tried out a 9-letter word for addictive brain heat. 102 years. Have a great afternoon. Your world starts now. Anyway, welcome everybody on the Uncut. And with Lindsey Graham out, was developing Donald Trump outlining the precipitous event with me 2 months ago. He's got a 0 in the call zero. And in South Carolina, he's a 3 and I'm a 32. And he's a senator from South Carolina. So, you know, if you're going to have some people that hit you, and it's always tough, but, you know, some that hit you, and Lindsey Graham was one, and he was quite vicious about it. And, you know, in the meantime, I guess he's got to get after it some because he's got no rating whatsoever. Well, he is out because Donald Trump is saying that they're back and forth with each other. He should have gotten out then. He got out now. No question as to how that changed the Republican race in Iowa. There could be from the Democrat as a kingmaker in his home state of South Carolina. Who knows? That's what it is. Than I would.
Graham was under 1% in the poll, so it's not necessarily massive support among the Republican base that people are going to be vying for, but certainly they've locked up some influential supporters in South Carolina, who people like Marco Rubio, Jeb Bush, Chris Christie, John Kasich are going to be vying for, and also some donors.
Poorly, his home state, but he was polling not so well there. Why trick over yourself to get supporters? I mean, would it matter? Or would it in what close contest? What do you think?
It definitely could, because Graham's supporters, Graham was senator of South Carolina, supporters in the state have leaked into pockets of South Carolina voters that the candidates don't necessarily have reach into. Ground game matters, and Graham's people who have been endorsed for South Carolina are a key asset to our
Fringe candidates, so those are outside the mainstream, even by extension, Rick Scott Dorn. Obviously, as I said, not a Trump guy, but he moved
including Donald Trump, Ted Cruz, he's vocally and campaign, and I think he ran really to invade against sentiment of somebody like Rand Paul as well.
If you think about it, he has never, none of the candidates have ever come close to committing the number of troops in the region, in Syria, outside 10,000 Alabama. He was talking about upping that figure. And most of them sensing America's appetite to get heavily involved again in that region was probably not a surefire way to garner support getting into the general election. So to get to be at least for Graham, if you're considering it,
Okay, so I was talking with them back there.
You talk with who?
I was talking with the person you were talking with earlier.
What's her name again?
Adams, her last name?
What's her first name?
Adams.
Alyssa Adams. Do you know her badge number? Can you get it? Okay.
So, we're discussing with her, simply incident or case or however you want to call it.
Fraud is unusual.
Or just the whole situation.
I just need to focus in on the fraud, the conspiracy.
And what I'm telling you is the information report came from the firm report. Firm anything.
Okay.
So the information report.
What's an information report? No, I want to file a report for a crime, because a crime has been committed. Okay.
So from there, if it's for they have the power to crime report or to do whatever. But I know all we can really do is get information.
An information report. Okay. Doesn't sound good enough to me.
Well, I'm talking to you, the report, and then that's the way
Okay, so if I was to come in here and say someone stole my bicycle, you would take an information report? What would you take? Okay, which is a crime. Okay. This is a police station, right? You take reports, police reports, right? Sacramento Police Department, right? So you are a state worker for the police department, right? I'm just really confused, bro. I've been through hell. So, okay, so I'm really confused because you told me to talk to the investigations, okay? Now, you didn't know that you needed a police report to talk to investigations? Is that correct?
No, I told you to either talk to the detectives, they're the ones that need to make a determination of what's going to happen.
Okay, but did you know that they need a police report to even talk to them?
I don't know what they're going to do.
Okay,
They're a separate unit.
okay. That's where I'm confused because I've been bounced around, and I need the buck to stop, okay? So now I'm going to file an information report, which sounds pretty weak considering the charges involved.
See what I can file right now.
Okay, so you're refusing to do a report for a crime. I cannot put a report for a crime and have somebody investigate that.
I'm telling you, review the report that we're going to file, and it gets sent over to the detectives. That doesn't mean that they're not going to pick it up and look at their crime.
Is that standard procedure?
For this, yes. And then I would also need all the documentation involved in documentation. That way I can take out the report from the detective. That's what they do first.
Doesn't sound very good, man. All right, let's do what you got to do.
Tell you how I can help you. That's the idea.
In the meantime, what could change when it goes today to today? We got that one. What's candidate in the race? How's that going to sort out in just a few weeks when we go to the next presidential debate? Well, Fox Business has the first presidential debate of the new year. Last time we were focused on just business issues. We're widening to get into all sorts of issues, including security, ISIS, terror, your money, your life, the kind of things that matter. Again, it is not questions we ask that generate interesting responses from that. Sometimes if you ask the right question, you'll get some riveting answers. As I said, no one really remembers who asked Ronald Reagan whether he was too old to be president. We just remember Ronald Reagan's response against Mr. Mondale that he wouldn't hold the president. Good experience against him. So much
What do you have to say?
Oh, he just checking in, seeing what's going on. So, Sacramento Police Department just came. Oh. So you You don't want to contact 916 808 0620. Correct. All right. You're welcome. You too. Bye.
So I'm really confused still. You got to bear with me here. So I'm reporting a crime. Now, to find out it's a crime, it needs to be investigated, right? So you're kind of telling me that I needed to investigate it before I can report a crime.
No, I'm telling you how that's going to work. I mean, it's up to you if you want me to take this report.
Oh, I want you to take a report for a crime, and then they'll determine whether or not it's a crime.
And I told you.
You can only take an informational report.
And then it's going to be forwarded to the detectives, and they're going to be the ones that can decide what they're going to do.
Okay.
So it's going to all be on the detectives' hands what they're going to do.
So if I go and file a civil lawsuit against this guy, do my own investigation, then I can come back and sue the precinct? Is that how that works? For statutory duty that has not been upheld?
You feel that needs to be done.
I'm just saying, man, because it doesn't sound very promising. I already have all discovery avenues and plenty of evidence to get it going for a crime. Including police officers involved.
Okay, well, I'm telling you how I can help you today. I mean, I need to either...
Hey, do what you got to do, man. I'll just document it and move on.
So it was false documents. That was done at the courthouse, correct?
Correct. Power Inn Road, Family Courthouse. 7:30 evaluation was turned in by Sidney K Nelson, clinical forensic psychologist. Previous relationship with my ex-wife, Annika Harrell. He's a big kahuna. Lots of accessories after the fact. We're looking at like 70 to 100 at this point, including actual people at the courthouse, police officers, various people at Sierra Vista Hospital Juvenile Hall. Yeah, it's getting kind of fun.
And what's your contact number?
916-705-8835.
And your home address again?
What is it? 2557 Ferment. What was it? Drive? Rancho Cordova 95670. I believe that's it.
Did you have a date for when this fraudulent document?
I received it on 9/14 of 2015. I assume that's the same time the courts received it, but I don't know. Might have been 9/15, I don't know. So are all reports that people come in here to file for a crime are taken as information reports?
Some of them are.
What differentiates them?
The circumstances?
Yes, more specifically, what differentiates them?
It's really case to case.
That's pretty vague, man. What would be a good example of a report of a crime?
So I can't classify it as a fraud I report.
A what?
A fraud information report as opposed to a miscellaneous information report.
You can't do what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear
I
you.
can classify it as a fraud I report as opposed to a miscellaneous report.
That sounds better. It's actually hitting more towards home. It's also perjury, which is a felony.
I will notate all that in here.
Okay.
It's up to the detectives to...
Sure, I hear you on that. They have a statutory duty to actually follow through. And there's various different oversight committees for that as well. So I'll be following every single one of them.
Excuse me, sir. Is there another window that could be opened?
Yeah, she's coming back from lunch here pretty soon.
Thank you, because there's a whole lot of us out here waiting.
And here's the person's last name that did the fraudulent document.
Sidney Keith Nelson.
So Nelson's last name.
Yes. Nelson.
Sidney is
SYDNEY, I believe. Middle name is Keith, spelled typically. Yeah, he's a precious guy. Everybody's lining up to save him. I guess if you have 40 years in the field and you give seminars to judges and you know half the police force.
You know what his race is?
Say again?
What is his race?
He's white.
Do you happen to know his date of birth or approximate age?
Probably 65, 70, I don't know.
No clue what his address is.
He's off 19th Street as his place of business.
Do you have a contact number for him?
I don't see it. He's a licensed psychologist, so if you plug in his name in the psychology website for licensing, you'll find it. He works at Scripps Psychology off 19th Street.